I'm going to start off differently and going to welcome all those that are in the Summerfeld Clubhouse this morning that have the privilege of watching this podcast live as
Keeping
it's recorded.
dry.
Keeping dry, absolutely. A bit of a cloud burst, but a glorious day. But so on behalf of Warren Linfern and Andrew Harrison, good day to you all in the clubhouse and out of the clubhouse. It's lovely to be here. And we've got a very special guest today, a guest who was part of a bit of a milestone at yesterday's race meeting at Hollywood Bets Gravel, but more about that just now, because you've got a cap on today just like me. I mean, you're not bald.
No, I'm not bald, but it's a bit of marketing. Because my daughter does virtual safaris.
Yes, virtual safaris.
Virtual safaris.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you can lie on your couch at home in the middle of a city.
And you can watch the lions and the leopards. Yeah.
Okay, what is that called, Andy?
This is Karana. She just finished in Botswana. She's now in Kenya. And if you go to the And Beyond website.
So that's what I was going to say. Where do we watch this? And Beyond?
And Beyond on YouTube.
Okay.
Wild Watch.
She's okay. I didn't know that such a thing
In
fact, now I'm talking nonsense because I think it started off when COVID started, that people couldn't go to the game reserves and they started doing those kind of things. Okay. Are you jealous of your daughter?
Very.
Because she sees beautiful sights all day, every day.
Yeah, she's just blessed with it.
Well, you've raised a good son.
So I've done my pop marketing.
You've raised a good son and you've raised a good daughter. Talking of good sons, the man to my left is our guest. His name is Deryl Daniels, and he too is a good son. We know he's a family man. And Deryl, it's absolutely lovely to have you on our show. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Lovely, good.
To the two big men.
Deryl, I want to start differently. I want to ask you and go straight to the jugular while the news is hot. Yesterday at Hollywood Bets Gravel, well, yesterday, you may watch this on Friday or Saturday, but during the week at Hollywood Bets Gravel, you rode a winner for Freaky Krailing, who's trained winners around the world as an assistant, but yesterday's one was very special because it was his first winner in his own right.
It was indeed, and it's been a while coming. It's been a bit frustrating because we've had a lot of places together the last month and a bit. Horses were just running there. He's just come off the farm from Moy River with him. So it's taken a little bit of time for them to adapt and get into it properly, and Fricky was, I don't think he's got fingernails left, and there isn't a cigarette strong enough on the shelves at the moment for him. And but yeah, the ice is broken, and a long relationship, long road we've travelled together, and as good friends. He's a good horseman. He's absolutely out of the top shelf as a horseman, and it was just so satisfying to ride the winner for him yesterday.
There's a photograph, and we'll talk about the photograph, but just quickly before I forget, he started training at the farm, as you said, and then they brought some horses down here to Summerfeld.
Yeah.
Is the farm training no more, or will he go back to the farm once things have settled, or what's the plan there?
So, as far as I understand, there'll be a bit of pre-training done there with the youngsters, and that there's a lot of youngsters there, and as far as I know, some of these youngsters will be transferred to here once Fricky gets a better setup going here.
Okay.
So it's just like a pre-training.
Yeah.
Center. Yeah, that Blue Sky Thoroughbreds, the old Coaster Clark thing, but it was before Craig Ramsey set it up.
There are facilities.
Golden Acres.
Golden Acres, that's what was the name I was thinking of. Yeah, he started up there.
So
Paul the Nation actually set up those tracks.
Okay.
He trained there for a while.
Sure. We saw that. We were there at the track the other day. Daryl will remember. There are beautiful facilities, but so that looks quite a nice setup. Then, if they could use the farm for like a pre-train, sort of easy work, and then when they're ready to go into the big school, come down here and train.
Well, you can take on Hollywood. They've got their pre-training.
It seems to be the way to go, really.
Hollywood, Richmond.
And it seems to be the way to go. Talking about a special moment yesterday. And it's about catching moments. There was the one photograph of you and Fricky on social media on the Gold Circle Facebook page of the two of you embracing one another, and that picture told 1,000 stories.
A lot of emotions running through there, and it's just like, as I said, so satisfying. Fricky gave me a lot of chances a long time ago, and those were in my dark days, and he stood by me. He saw something in me, and he just stood by me, and we hit it off, and it worked. And when Fricky went through his little bit of a dog patch or whatever, have you not, I was there as a friend, and yeah, here we are today. I mean, words can't describe what I felt and what he felt. Pictures maybe.
Yeah. Now, you said in your interview yesterday that the both of you had travelled sort of a long, tough road, and you've just mentioned that there were some dark times, and we're not going to go too deeply into it, but I think it's nice to touch on it because it's such a great success story, as was Chad Little. You weren't here, I think you were overseas, or you were in the game reserve.
I wish I was overseas.
You were somewhere, but Chad Little, and it was a lovely interview because it ended up with such a positive, positive result, and touch on a bit about that without going into great detail, but there were a couple of years where things didn't go so good.
Yeah, no, for sure. 2018, it all came to a very dark end for me there, and I sold all my racing kit. Actually, I thought, hey, I'll never ride again. I was embarrassed, depressed, in a black, dark hole. Stayed with my parents, and then COVID ended, and Mr. Muscat, good friend of mine, great trainer, gave me a chance to come up here. Started working for him, met Mikey Shaw, got into Project Exodus. It's like 4 years ago, and my life has changed. I got given another opportunity, I took it, and life has changed. It is a journey, it is not a struggle, a fight that I have to do daily. I do Zoom meetings every day. I've just qualified in running my own groups, I've done ERS courses. I didn't have a cent in my account. I started with a scooter. I have now a motorbike and a car, a place to stay. I even have a fridge and a TV.
But Deryl, we laugh because we laugh because we're your friend and support you. But it's just wonderful to see the outcome and to see the result. Yes, as you say, it's a daily challenge. It's a daily, of course it is. But you seem to be rising above it every day, and for that we're exceptionally proud of you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And one of the big victories for me was liking myself again, respecting myself again.
Okay.
And then sharing that with other people, because as it goes in recovery, I can only keep what I have by giving it away. So if this is encouragement to someone else and a helping stepping stone forward, then I hope it is. So,
absolutely.
Deryl, let's go back to the beginning when you were an apprentice. You rode at Ashburton often for Robin
remember
Watkinson.
You well.
Yeah, you do. Robin Watkinson and Pat Riley, you were two main supporters there in Ashburton. Yeah. Who else?
And Upton was still training there. Bertie Hayden was there. Gilbert Werner was around.
Sure.
Steve Benton, Mr. Min was there.
Mr. Min, yeah.
Belinda, of course.
Belinda
MP was trained as well.
Cyril Naidu was carrying the whips around at that stage. He hadn't even taken out a license yet. And I rode a lot of winners for him. Mr. Watkinson, he took me in. I remember weekends painting his house roofs and washing his cars and that before I could start riding his horses.
Robin was a good trainer.
Yeah, very
shrewd boy. Yeah.
Very shrewd.
He was involved with that stallion hoofing about, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think that's what stuck him out. Because wasn't hoofing too good.
It hoofed him.
It hoofed him,
yeah, those were good times. Really proper learning times for me. I mean, as I explained to you, it took me 150 rides to ride my first winner. I think 100 of those rides were for Mr. Watkinson. And as we discussed a little bit, it wasn't as easy as it was before. It was tough.
Yeah. No.
You mentioned
we won't touch that, sir.
You're mentioning those names of those top horsemen and horsewomen, and I think if you actually had to sit down and write a list from A all the way down, just of all these top horsemen and women that have come and gone that are still existing, it would make up pages and pages.
Yeah, no, but I was looking like Ashburton when I started there. You mentioned all those trainers there, but there was also Brian Cunningham, Nick Feldman, Laff started there.
Dave Goss,
Darren Furr,
Mr. Martin,
Derek
he was
Martin,
there. Sam Martin.
So he's unwell, Derek Martin, and we wish him well and a speedy recovery. Looking on social media, sorry that he's not well, and I'm sure that he'll bounce back to full health. Please God.
Dave Goss. It was like a comedy show in the mornings. I'll tell you something. If we could have had a video camera there those days, we would have had fun. Lafferty, Goss, and Herman Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remember,
Comedians, they missed they're calling in life. Eh?
yeah, Mr. Fur used to come down the track with his arm in his mouth and riding a horse.
Yeah.
Because his one arm was paralyzed. Put it in his mouth and then still come and ride horses down the track.
Yeah. And he refused to to have any help.
Yeah.
He had matches. He didn't
Yeah.
have a lighter. He had to have matches. He used to roll his own.
Yeah, no, he was a legend.
He was a legend with his
it was
one
funny.
arm. Eh? I remember he went past me going to Clearwood the one day. He's got a cigarette in his mouth and a beer in his hand, and the car's going 100 miles an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, good day.
That's the Ashburton Centre. Talking about Ashburton Centre then, and the trainers there, etc. Now it's all based at Summerfelt. What do you? I mean, the two centres. I mean, I know they're very different in size and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But you've adapted, and others have adapted to the change.
Yeah, look, obviously the facilities here are top class, run well by the big brass, and Ashburton in its own right, geez, a lot of good winners, a lot of good races were had there, and it's a bit sad that it actually, didn't carry on.
It just
but
ran out of trainers. Basically,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole problem is. Yeah.
very sad. I used to love that place. Summerfelt's good. The facilities are here. I love it. Long may it continue.
No, don't steal the grass again.
Yeah, we won't talk about that one.
Tell me now, your sponsors, Indigo Health. I want us to spend a bit of time on that because having bumped into and met Shane, I haven't met Tracy, thank you very much, but
Thanks.
I
No beers.
sort of know the product. Tell us about it. What is the product? Who can use it? How did you come across Shane and Tracy? Talk to us.
Yeah, sure. So Shane Cass and Tracy, they basically run Indigo, which is a broad spectrum brand, wildlife animals, human products, equine products, small animal products, and it's from A to Z. You think of it, they got it. And Peter Muscat started using a product which is very good for the horses, Moringa Mint. It's good
So
for
it's called
humans.
Moringa?
Moringa Mint.
Moringa.
Moringa in Zimbabwe,
Moringa.
Zambia, they grow.
Yeah.
They grow
Potent
moringa
stuff.
all the time. Yeah.
Potent stuff. I drink it. Tastes horrible. It tastes like dishwashing liquid, but I drink it. It's good stuff. And regen, joint boost, minerals, recovery shakes, whey powders. I stick my body full of it every day because I swear by it. And I met Shane through Mr. Muscat, and it's just progressed so like it. Shane's got his own story of going through cancer and using his own products and that and coming good. A lot of the racing people are using the products and you can swear by it. Cloda Shaw's on some of the products, and she's no spring chicken anymore and she swears by it. So yeah, it's just been a nice journey with Shane and Tracy. They've been so good and kind to me, and I definitely feel a difference with the product.
Yeah.
Are you the only sponsored jockey, or is there more to the stable?
No, you know what? Pumi Mjoka came on board as the first African or black jockey, and then we've got Devin Ashby as well now, doing the rounds for us. So there's three of us now, which is awesome. And then
So it's Pumile and Mjokwa,
Devin Ashby.
Devin Ashby and yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
what a lovely
Pumi's doing all right in Cape Town. Eh?
Yeah,
Oh.
Pumi holds his own. He's a grafter. He's not stupid. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. Devin also he's a grafter and good ambassadors for the brand. So all over the country. A lot of trainers, Jock Stratum, sponsored in PE, has his winners, and he has a good amount of winners wherever he's busy there. And then there's so many people around here using the product.
Yeah. Deryl, let's go back to racing. Zimbabwe. I see the Triple Crown winner.
Yeah, Buster Barnes.
Buster Barnes.
Yeah. It's a bit of a story there. That is also a little fairy tale of my own. I pray to God all the time when I come back. I say, hey, just give me one more decent horse to ride. I was thinking maybe in Joburg or Durban. Hey, I had to go to Zim to find him. My first winner back, I think I won by 30 lengths on him in a 5 furlong. And then the idea was the Triple Crown. And every time I won like 6 out of 7 on him. The Derby won by 10. The Guineas he won by about 8 or 9. And then I'm not sure what the 2000 was called. He won that by, it wasn't much opposition. What a
Who trains him?
Debbie Swanson.
Debbie
actually.
Swanson. Yeah. No, because I was reading, she gave you a good write-up and whatever, I read it somewhere.
What a good lady and horsewoman as well.
She said you should get more chances here.
Yeah, well, I'd like to. Also, just a funny story. They phoned me, phoned me and said, listen, they got races in Zim. There's a ride going, would you go? Oh, fine, I liked Zim. Ran second, and from there just sort of snowballed. Now I got family there. Jackie Coxedge and Duncan Coxedge. It's like my granny and my grandfather there. I go and live with them when I'm there. It's unreal people. Unreal.
There's something about the Zimbabweans that they're just.
I've never been to Zim, but apparently it's a complete jaw.
Yeah.
Well, the racing it's an experience.
The
I mean, do they
camaraderie.
still go upstairs into the bar and have a couple of jars afterwards, or a cold drink or whatever up at the pub, and they all socialise? It's great fun, and it's a lovely wide course. And Kevin Shea said, and I mentioned it on one of the podcasts, that he says, in his opinion, one of the better tracks he's ridden on around the world.
I concur.
So, it is a lovely facility. But there's something about it as Zimbabwean, that they enjoy a party. They're just good people. You know what I'm saying? They're always easy to get on with.
Yeah.
And it's just maybe the way of life there. I don't know what it is, the upbringing. I don't know what it is.
Resilience, understanding, kindness, willingness. That is a Zimbabwean to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Yeah, I just love the place. It is one of the best courses to ride on.
Why haven't you gone? I mean, you're 73 years of age and you haven't been to Zimbabwe.
Well, no one's invited me.
We're saving for next year's Kariba trip.
Oh yes, I'm in for that.
Deryl, I also want to talk about, we've been touching on people and we may miss out a few people, but that's okay because we're human, we can't remember everybody.
Yeah.
But firstly, I want to talk about Tinus Gericke, Bruce LaRue, their wives and partners, Angie, and the whole team up at Blue Sky Thoroughbreds.
Yeah.
I mean, what good people.
Another space all by itself. Geez, I had a phone call. I was on the phone with Mr. Gericke for about 40 minutes last night, just freely speaking and talking, breeding horses this way, that way, and it was so comfortable and just so enjoyable to speak to this man, and his wealth of knowledge in the breeding and in life in general is that his wife Liz, Auntie Liz, also another top class woman. First person to send me a message and Fricky a message, well done guys, They put the opportunity in front of us, but they're the first ones to say well done. The humble as they are. Angie on the farm, she's excitable as they come. Shame, I can imagine her running around the office with this little horse running. And then Uncle Bruce, I used to ride winners for him with Mike Riley, and that Ndola comes to mind.
Sure.
Jeez, that's a long time ago.
Ndola. And Uncle Bruce is also he's like a piece of leather. You can throw it in the sun and the rain, it's not going anywhere. He's a legend too. So.
And then there's also Tammy, who's also active. Tammy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, she was at the races yesterday, which was wonderful. I'm sad that she didn't talk in the post-race interview.
Shame, man. And the two kids and Tammy, and they're all smiling and like, hey, this is lekker. Easy game, eh?
Hurricane Cat.
She's got an action like a rabbit.
Is by
wind it up before we jump.
it's by Erupt out of a Varmere, I think, if my memory serves me correct.
Yeah.
And I heard you saying that she may not be the biggest filly around, but she's got a bit of, as Andrew says, there's a bit of a sprinting. She can sprint a bit clearly, and she took to the poly very well.
Yeah, so she got me a little bit. I thought she'd be a grass filly because she's so quick and fast, and I thought on the sand we're going to struggle a bit. The last 2 weeks leading up to this last race, the sand work was impeccable, phenomenal work. And I said, Fricks, we might be all right with this on the poly. And she did good yesterday.
Yeah,
she is small.
And there was a horse that ran third on debut just the other day of Fricky's.
Oh yes, Captain Oliver.
Captain Oliver,
Ollie.
that's right, yeah. And
Ollie.
so, as you said, you know, he knows, I mean, Fricky knows horses. He knows he's been around the world, for goodness sakes.
I've got this picture in my mind of Fricky when Horse Chestnut won the Triple Crown in Joburg. Of him, everybody was having photographs taken and all that. Fricky was out on the course leading Horse Chestnut around.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. It's just one of those pictures that stick in your mind.
Yeah.
So he was with Horse Chestnut for because he was working for Mike de Kock. So
You know, it's everybody. We were just talking about different people and their attitudes and, you know, Zimbabweans, etc. Every human being is just so different. I mean, Fricky is an excitable character.
Yeah.
But that's his makeup. I'm a loud person. That's my makeup.
you can say that again.
You just chill, happy go. Like everybody's different, you know, and it's just what makes everyone so unique. So we're going to watch the Fricky Crailing stable for. But he doesn't only train for Tinas and Bruce. Is that correct?
At the moment, it's only.
At the moment,
Blue
it's just
Sky.
Blue Sky,
Yeah,
so then in time he will open. That'll be nice. Okay.
No, you can't keep a good thing down, eh?
Yeah, and Sibasiso was his groom. He groomed with Adam Kethro's days with Gary Rich. I remember Sibasiso well. Also a horseman of the highest order. And Fricky acknowledged his grooms because without the grooms you can't do the work. I also want to talk about Peter Muscat because he has a trainer that is transparent, you know, with his comments. He's transparent to the public. He's always happy to talk to the media. Roz, his partner. They get the results, and they, you know, he, I'm sure, as you said earlier on, played a role in your coming back too.
This man, Mr. Muscat, I got the utmost respect for and gratefulness. What I've learned from him in his yard, no one, I couldn't pay money for. Geez, I've learned a lot there inside the yard, working there, and I thought to myself, the jocks will probably want to stone me for this, but jocks should do a 6-month course in a trainer's yard and learn a little bit more of the intricacies, and then the appreciation would be better of where they come from, what to do. Even on the stud farms. Now I'm busy doing spelling on Adam Ketro's farm. There's so many facets and aspects that you can learn and put together to become a better horseman. It's scary.
But in the old days, an apprentice was assigned to a stable.
Yeah.
So when he's finished at the academy, he used to go to the stable and work there. I remember Anthony Delpesh was with Uncle Joe Joseph.
Yes, Uncle Joe, yeah. Terry Ryan, he had his. Neville Pierce had his.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all.
You all went and you worked in the yard after school and
just the appreciation for what gets put into it to get that horse on the course for that 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah.
And you know, you mentioned that, and I know I've told the same story time and time again, but years now ago, I can't remember time, it was before COVID, and a lady came up to me at Scottsville, Hollywood Bet Scottsville. She said, "Excuse me, you know, would you mind if I have a word with you?" I said, "Oh no, I've tipped the wrong horse, or I've done something wrong." But anyway, not easy to tip horses. Never mind the first 4 past the post. But I said, "Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?" She said, "I've come to the races for the first time. I'm completely amazed." She says, "These horses just magically arrive into the parade ring, and magically." And I said, "Ma'am, with no disrespect at all, let me spend 5 minutes with you." And I explained. She couldn't believe it. You know what goes on behind the scenes. Every horse is a different story, but and Gold Circle, Michelle Wing is going to be doing some inserts on different equipments that work, different tack that are needed. Vets work, you know, in the lead up. It's not easy, and I think we need to. Yes, we've said in the industry that we need to attract new owners, young owners, syndicates, which we've done and continue to do. And I think we need to market behind the scenes to the industry more because the public need to know. It's not they don't just miraculously arrive.
The thing is, the more involved you get into it, the more you like it because you suddenly realise it's like Formula One. I mean, Formula One to me it was just cars going buzzing around the track, and I thought, who's bloody interested in that? But then it came with that Drive to Survive.
Oh yes, yes.
And now suddenly everybody sort of knows what's going on behind the scenes, and it's
very
now Formula One is just taken off it.
I mean, yesterday with that winner, Fricky's first winner. I mean, and I did see him this morning, I didn't ask him this question, but it must have felt, although it was a maiden race on the Hollywood Bets Gravel Poly midweek, it must have felt like like winning a grade 1 for him, because it was such a momentous occasion of what it took to get there.
Yeah, so I drove back with Fricky in the car yesterday, and he said to me, Achwat, there's only twice in my life that I had a lump in my throat, and yesterday was one of them. That's what it meant to you.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I want to also, we must touch about, where's your family based? Were you ever down the coast? I think it was Billy Jacobson's whose family was based down in the coast. And I'm getting confused. Where are you based? Where are you from? Talk to us about your family.
Okay, I was born in Germiston.
Okay.
Yeah, that side. Grew up in the Vaal Triangle from the Bell Park, about 10 minutes from the Vaal Racecourse.
So were you a good fighter in your day?
A little bit of wrestling, that's what my ears look like they do. But my parents still reside there. It's now 46 years, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, about to move down to the coast. I've always enjoyed it here in Durban. I really have. I'm sort of a pavement special, you know what I mean? I haven't got a home, so wherever it's comfortable in Durban's good for me. So I'm based here.
Okay, fantastic.
Before I forget, you rode for Ormond Ferraris for a while.
David Ferraris, Ormond Ferraris, yeah.
Yeah.
Good times, good horses.
Good horses.
Yeah.
But you were there when the shooting took place.
Yes, I was in the car with
You were
him.
in the car.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
that was David Ferraris.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Tell us about that story. That was sad, but interesting.
Yeah, so I actually worked for Gary Alexander for a year, couldn't get a winner on the board. David Ferraris said, come to me. My first ride for him was 1-4, and it won by about 5 lengths. Lived in the house with him. On our way to work the one morning, 3 o'clock, gates open, electric gates. I saw the first shot go off, and I ducked down with the dogs running all over me. 6-7 shots fired in a row. David got hit in the chin and the neck. Car rolled across the road, got jammed against the wall. David jumped out and chased this guy up the road with his gun. He bailed the wall and got away on a motorbike somehow. David in hospital that week. That week I won on Divine Force. I won the Concord Technically. It was madness. John Buckler, who's a very good friend of mine, made me ride work that same morning. In my church shoes still, I think. I went to Vaal races. I won the first on the filly called Opal Queen still. It was madness. It was,
It was tough times though, but did you ever find out what the reason behind it was?
I think we sort of know what it was, but I wouldn't want to elaborate. So.
But now,
It's a bit like the sea cottage shooting.
talking about riding work in your church shoes, you had to just come back from church. Listening to a lot of stories, that jocks would ride with a broken toe, or if you fall off, you break your hand, or you just soldier through it. You got to be tough.
The guys are tough. Yeah,
You got to be tough.
The guys are tough. I was thinking about the jocks that we rode with those days, Van Wyks and Whitmores and Van Boomers, and hey, you get a sounder from one of those, your ears ring for a week. Those are proper tough boys.
Deryl, challenges, we all face challenges. Then and now. I mean, challenges then, challenges now. Talk to us about that.
So for me, the biggest thing was coming to a place where I'm happy with what I'm doing right now and where I'm comfortable. I'm at an age where I'm still in a good enough shape to ride enough races and enjoy myself. I love race riding, I love horses. So for me, I'm not getting a lot of rides, but I'm happy. And then I got Zim, which is keeping me going.
And you've also got, you said you go to the thoroughbred shed, you do a bit of work, so you've got jobs that keep you going, keep you interested.
Yeah, that's the next step for me, perhaps, pre-training. So there's always options, Shane Indigo supplements, also wanting to get involved there.
And you're one of these.
A good place.
You're one of these mad runners.
I do actually.
You and Paddy win.
Yeah, Paddy is my taskmaster. I can never catch the skinny bastard.
Have you run the comrades?
I've done it once.
Once?
Yes. And then I had a hip replacement done. Thank you to Doc Human. They sponsored me because that time no medical aid in that big operation. It was a success story. Mike de Haas and Laura de Haas, Dr. Human. Thank you. And then, so I'm running about 2 months again now. I've done a couple of 10Ks and that with a view of doing the comrades again.
No, you talk about Paddy, the skinny bastard. I
Yeah.
mean, he's always been thin in his life. I remember Anne Upton used to call him lettuce leaf
Yeah.
because he never ate anything.
If he picks up, he weighs 48, I think. If he picks up half a kilo, he goes on diet. But he's good man.
You're talking about running, the Hollywood Bets.
Yeah, the end of the month.
And are you going to run that?
Yeah.
No, have you registered?
Yeah.
No, I've registered. Are you going to run with us?
You're stuffing
Water
bad.
boy.
The only running he does is he runs the bars. That's the closest he gets to running.
I don't even run the bar.
Or run to the toilet.
I run the bar.
Yeah, or run to the toilet. Yeah. But now, so you are going to run. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it'll be my third time now. Such
Awesome.
great fun.
Yeah, I like
It's a no pressure up. You get competitors that want to win and do the best times, and you get others that want to do it the exercise and do the journey. And yeah, well done to Hollywood for organising that. We look forward to lining up there at the end of the month.
Looking forward to that one.
What is you're talking about Paddy wins weight, what are you comfortable at?
54. I rode 52 a couple of months back on Buster in Group 1. I had to go light, but I can get down there. 54 easy.
How old are you now, Deryl?
47. But I feel about 26.
Well, that's
47 is still a latte, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're very lucky. I mean, you're 79 and you look 43.
Oh, cool.
You've got more hair than I do.
And me too.
Yeah.
And me too. Now, I like to pull the Mickey out of you. You're a different class. You're a different class. Now, so that's your weight and your age. I want to ask you this question because, and I don't know how to ask it because I don't want you to take it the wrong way. But if there was a troublesome horse, if there was a naughty horse, Deryl Daniels is the man to sort it out. Why is that? Is it your temperament? Is it you're not scared? What is it? Talk to us about that because I've seen you on a horse that can be spinning around and around, and Deryl just sits on the horse's back like he's buying a cup of tea.
But I remember Robin Watkinson telling me, he said, you've got beautiful hands.
So patience and nerve. Talk to us, about that.
Yeah, look.
You're not scared of them.
And before I went to the academy, I never knew what a horse was. So everything I learned was from here. I had Vincent Curtis, Kenny Michelle, and David Cavey, three of the best
names.
riding masters. Mr. Michelle taught me hands, Mr. Curtis discipline, and that went out the window a little bit for a while. And Mr. Cavey.
You're back.
Yeah.
Good.
So I don't know. It's just a connection with the horses, and I've just always managed to have a rapport with them, if you put it as such. And it's a bit of a challenge, and I like challenge. It's not always fun riding the bad ones, but
Sure.
if you're going to be scared, then why ride? Look, it's a talent. It's a blessing God's given me as well. And I'd rather be with horses than with people that, sometimes.
Absolutely. No, I agree with
100%.
What's the best way to approach if you're now in a trainer's ring? Okay, let's use a name, Robin Watkinson as an example. So just as a name, we're talking about Robin. So if you're in Robin Watkinson's ring and you know that chestnut horse over there is a bit naughty, and he says, right, go and work it. What's the best way? Obviously, do you approach it slowly? Do you approach it head on? Do you come from the side? What would you do to make it as easy as possible?
What I'd like to do is I walk up to a horse, put my hand in front of his nose. I don't know, it's like a natural thing. The horse gets my smell sort of concentrates on me there in that moment, that space. A bit of a tap, pat. Jump on slow and relaxed. I show the horse I'm scared. He knows.
Yes.
He feels it. Get on there positively, sit, put your hands down. That's me. And let's go forward. That's how
interesting.
Yeah, but hands are hands. You blokes you swing on, and the horse just doesn't like it.
Like a monkey on a telephone wire.
Absolutely. Deryl, the jockey room still to this day, and I was just chatting to Lance Whiteford a moment ago, who's director of Gold Circle, for those that might not know, and racehorse owner and punter, etc. He was just saying that we've got a large spectrum, a large variety of riders around the country. This country continues to produce year after year after year out of that South African Jockey Academy. The point I'm making is, you see what Richard Ferri's just done. You've got some very good colleagues that are your friends and that are just like you, good jockeys.
Yeah, we very fortunate to have the system we have here, with the people we have here, with the mentality and the, just the facilities to do this with them. If I think back to jocks that's come through the system and that I've locked horns with, it's scary, and it'll continue to be that way. I take my hat off to these people because it's not easy, especially nowadays. Not easy.
What's Richard like in the jockey room?
Richie, he's a laid-back boy. Sits there, eats his biltong. He has time to chat to you. Fishing, hey, don't get started on fishing. We'll be there for a while.
Well, all of you fishermen should go to Kariba. You should take Richard with you. You should go. Can you imagine that?
That would be a week tip.
Yeah, as long as Richie plays, we're in.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Well, what I can tell you is that I'd love to put a little hidden microphone there, because I can imagine the conversation with all you fishermen.
We'll be talking about tiger fish, not horses.
All right. That's really about it. But we just wanted to touch base with you and share your story. And as I said, we haven't really gone. There's so much more about your career and the champions that you've ridden. But we wanted to give you, Indigo, and Fricky, and everybody that's associated with you some airtime. And well done. Just keep up the good work. Keep fighting the fight. And as I said earlier on, we're exceptionally proud of you.
Yeah, much appreciated. And with the right people behind me, and we'll keep marching on. Seriously.
Good D. Thanks for coming.
What can you add, Grumps?
Nothing.
Nothing else to add. Hey?
I'm looking at the weather.
You know what I do want to say?
I'm going camping tomorrow.
Oh, well, the weather forecast. Yeah, but I think it's.
2 days of rain.
Yeah, I think by Saturday you'll be back to me.
I've got to put up the tent in the rain now.
But where are you going camping?
Going Tembe Elephant Reserve.
But your wife has just got back from a beautiful holiday in the Cape, and now she's going on holiday with you again.
Yeah, why not?
Times are good.
Times are good, can you believe it?
We've got a special, so it's cool.
What I did want to say, before we close up, is I know you, and I say it respectfully, you're not one to go on to the technical things and websites and all that, but did you see the amount of hits that we got with the Yanish Tucker podcast?
The whole of Mauritius will watch that podcast.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And thank goodness for that, because they're passionate about their racing. And I've touched base with my cousin a few times, and it's gone viral in Mauritius. And you'll be shocked, it's gone viral just about around the world. Dr. Sipa was telling us in our meeting the other day, you can check on Facebook, I didn't know, where the hits are coming from. Coming from Portugal, coming from all over the world. So
I was quite surprised to see that. I have to be a bit careful what I say now. I might upset a few pommies.
What I've learned from those statistics is that racing is alive, and racing is part of people's lives around the world. Because if you're living in Portugal, as an example, you're not watching the podcast because you like chess. You're watching it because it's racing.
No, because Des Egner's watched it for 5 times.
Des is back in the Cape.
Is he back in the Cape?
Back in the Cape. That's another trainer that you've many winners for.
Yeah, it's the Edges.
Yeah, Des Edges back.
Give you instructions a week before races. Till race day.
I must tell you a quick story before we wrap up. I'll talk about Des Egner's. I've raced horses with him, a great friend and just a great person. But I'll never forget Marco Latore.
Hey,
how's that for a name we haven't heard for a long time? So I can't do the accent because I'm not good at doing accents. I'm good at talking nonsense, as you've said. But nevertheless, Marco Latore comes up to me the one day at the races. He says, I'm in a terrible state. I said, what's the problem, Marco? He says, I've got, I don't know, so many different sticks. I mean, I've got 15 different sticks at home. I said, but why have you got so many sticks? He says, because every time I talk to Mr. Eggers, he tells me, change your stick, change your stick, change your stick. He says, so I go and buy a stick. He said, I've got too many sticks. Mr. Eggers, change your stick. But Des was a great instruction. He would tell you, and again, everyone's different. He would tell you, 100 metre by 100 metre what he wants. And that's where he was a perfectionist and he got the results. But change the sticks. Marco Latore said, I've never had so many sticks in my life. This man wants me to, all I must do is change my stick.
I miss those characters in the game, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, not that there aren't any around now, but...
I said it in a post-race interview the other day. Yes, we know the game's a serious game. There's huge money at stake. There's careers. We know all that. But also the last race of the day, I like to, depending on the situation, have a a bit of a laugh and try, because life is serious.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
nice to, you can't lose sight of the fact that you need to be a little humorous at times.
But I mean, if you come to the tracks often enough, it's what they call black humor.
Yeah.
People just
Yeah,
take the mickey out of everybody.
yeah,
I mean, if you fall and break your leg, someone will say, look at that stupid bugger.
Absolutely.
But that's the way racing people are.
Yeah,
But
it's
if
a
something
breed
does
on
happen,
there.
they all club
Come
together.
together,
So.
absolutely they do. Okay, so the Yanish Tucker podcast was all our podcasts were well, but that in particular, I was so happy because it was lovely to learn his story and to hear about him. I mean, you obviously know him.
I've seen him around in the jockey room, and that very reserved character. I've seen him ride. He's not bad at all.
Yeah.
He looks okay. With a couple of chances, I'm sure you'll do it right there.
I mean, MJ Woodendal's noticed him as a talent too. So and you guys are noticing that. So there must be something there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a wrap from us. Lots of racing as always. It's been a lovely time to talk with to Deryl, who's proudly sponsored by Indigo. You enjoy your fishing. I'll do all your work while you go fishing. See, both.
I'm not fishing. I'm going to see elephants.
Elephants. My apologies, but I get so confused. So 2 colleagues in our department both going away. So I'll do both of your work. All right.
It's about time he stood up here.
That's a wrap from all of us at In the Boxing podcast. To the team behind the scenes, maybe we should do a podcast with them one day to find out what makes them tick.
Yeah, I reckon. I'd like to get to Wonder up here.
Absolutely.
Wonder.
Lilo in the background as well. Lilo is a student.
Why his batteries keep falling out? Got to keep one.
We've got so many students at Gold Circle coming to learn about the industry and do work experience. It's exciting.
Listen, the last time we had a student in there, she came on the Friday, she never came back.
She never came back because, well, you talk to the student that's in our department.
I don't know what I said.
You talk to the student that's in our department now. She didn't know that this industry was so great. So it's good. But that's a wrap from all of us. Be safe, be nice, pump well. There's lots of racing around the world, but mainly here in South Africa we focus on that. To Deryl and his family, all the very best. Be proud of him.
Thank you.
And it's not often we don't sit and what's that saying? Chew the cud. Is that the saying? Chew the cud.
You're a cow, yeah, no problem.
And just learn about all the blessings and realize the blessings that we get on a daily basis. We need to do that more often. But that's a wrap from the team. We'll see you as always in the number 1 box.